What's up, party people? Josiah Novak, True Transformation, back again. Today we have my good friend and client, Kirk Cooper, on the show. And Kirk is actually a former high school teacher who has turned into an e-commerce expert. He's a CEO of a premier consulting company that helps clients build e-commerce businesses and create what we all want: financial freedom, passive income. And I thought it would be really interesting to get him on the show because this guy's killing it in the online world, in the online business space, but he also was killing it in my program. So I know a lot of you listening are busy parents who run, hot all day, busy schedules, crazy demanding schedules, who also want to get in shape. And it can be really hard to find the time to get everything done. And you just need a better system. And so Kirk is literally the poster child for crazy life, got kids, coaches kids, does baseball stuff, sports stuff, runs super successful businesses with tons of clients, but he also just got ripped in my program. So I wanted to get his take on how he does it all, but also give you some insight into how to build more financial freedom, because let's face it, our program, and I tell this all the time, it's not just a fitness program. It's literally a lifestyle. We want you to be winning on every single level. And of course, it starts with health and fitness, but it doesn't stop there. We want you crushing it financially with your family, your spirituality, everything. I just want you to be the best, period. And so Kirk is someone I consider to be at the top of his game, and he's in phenomenal shape. I mean, this guy got absolutely ripped. So I sat down with Kirk today. We talk about how to build an e-commerce business, what you need to know, how to invest in one, who to hire, all this cool stuff, but also went into detail about how he got in shape. So you're going to get a couple angles here in terms of success and how to be successful on a couple different fronts. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this podcast with my man, Mr. Kirk Cooper. Kirk, welcome to the show, brother. You got super shredded in my program, man. Like, your pictures look absolutely awesome. You gotta give me all your secrets.
Man, it's honestly being a collegiate athlete and moving through and navigating life and in a professional sense and growing a family. It's real easy to kind of get deviated and move away from the things that were once a very high priority and just a part of my life as an athlete. But the system was incredible because having a team behind you and somebody just to kind of nudge you and remind you and to motivate you, that's what a coach did. And having a coach at that, that collegiate, stance, high school stance, wherever it is you're competing at is such a key component, because it's hard for somebody to just get up and do things on their own until it is ingrained in them and it is just a way of life. So by having that motivation and that push, it made it really, really easy in the sense that I had the background already. I just needed somebody to just kind of reinvigorate it. And the program's been phenomenal.
Yeah. Being a former athlete myself too, I think we both played baseball. You played baseball, right? In college?
So I played baseball, but then track is what I ran in college. I was a
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a high level athletic background. I mean, track is one of the ultimate athletic endeavors.
Yeah, it's a good time for sure.
So we work with a lot of former athletes, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, I'm curious to hear your take, but at one point you're probably in just absolutely insane shape, especially as a college level athlete. What are some of the biggest things that happen, like when real life takes over? What are some of the hurdles that you felt, at least, coming into our program, that you had to overcome or just get past? What were some, like, the biggest ones that held you back?
I think it's just the motivation again at that point, and just prioritizing it, is making it a key component of life again, because you really easily can fade away from those priorities of your health, wellness, and just fitness. And people don't understand the mental, what it does for your mentality to be able to get out, just crush a workout, and then get back into doing what you do and what you do best. I mean, it really brings the best out of you, just hormonally. So having a program where you were committing yourself and you knew somebody else, you guys as coaches on the other side of it, you knew that they're there and they're overlooking what it is you're doing. You don't want to just not do it, or you're going to get called out in the most respectful way possible. But that's why a coach and a program, for instance, is so important. So I knew right away after just speaking with you guys that it was going to be something that I could be successful with, because it's going to put me right back in that same, frame of mind that I've just, I had been in tune with for so many years.
It's so interesting to hear that too, because, I think a lot of people see you on the surface, if they follow you on social media and stuff like that, they're like, man, this guy's just like super successful, has it all together. But I always, whenever people ask me about my success, I always contribute, I always say, hey, it's coaching, right? Coaching has got me in to every level that I'm now at or will continue to reach. It's mentors, leaders, coaches. It's funny how super successful people just buy into that concept. And I don't know, I guess it's probably because we've grown up with coaches and sports and whatever, but someone sees you on the surface like, man, this guy's got it all figured out. And the truth is, like, you do because of others that you
100%. 100%. Yeah. I originally, before I got into the entrepreneurial space, I was a high school teacher and coach. And what really led to that was my dad was a high school teacher and coach. He coached me, and you look up to people who were very influential in your life, and there's not necessarily a monetary piece that ever goes into it. You just have an appreciation for that role in your life. And then you want to be able to give back in that same capacity. So while I've transitioned out of teaching in a high school setting and coaching at a high school setting, I'm still teaching, I'm still coaching. And even in the athletic, stance, I get to coach my two sons and their baseball team. And I still get that fulfillment out of that type of interaction while helping people, better their financial stance and create generational wealth, so that someday, when their time is coming to an end, they know that they can pass on those same skills to their kids and their family, so that they can continue on to that same financial success, which in turn gives time freedom. And that's what I'm really after, is the time freedom.
Yeah, I vibe with that message 100%. That's why I wanted to get you on the show, is because, obviously being in the fitness space, we help people increase the quality of their life, the longevity, hopefully, right? Live a long time, assuming they avoid any crazy accidents and stuff. But like, while they're here, look, feel, perform their best. But of course, while you're here, you want to have freedom. Like, the word freedom to me is like top of my list. Like, I want financial freedom. I want to have flexibility to do what I want, where I want, with who I want. That's the dream. So I want you to kind of give a little bit of insight into what you do, because I think a lot of our listeners, they listen to the show for fitness, but they also are people like us who have, they're driven, they're ambitious. Yeah. They want to learn more about what they can do with their money and time. So talk to me a little bit about the e-com stuff that you handle right now.
Yeah. So I got into the e-com space back in 2013 as a way to, diversify, but to add additional income to my teaching salary. I had recently just gotten married, and we wanted to build a family, and that there was some concerns on my side of, man, I don't know if I'm making enough money to comfortably, raise a family. And that's more of a responsible standpoint. I want to be responsible about, if you're going to do this, you're going to do this right. And I truly got into it thinking and committing to myself that I was just going to add an additional workload. I thought I was going to run absolutely everything for X amount of years. And it began that way until certain light bulbs clicked. I developed a software that I worked with a programmer on that started to make a lot of things for myself a heck of a lot easier, because otherwise I was fulfilling orders 7 days a week. So I really didn't have a day off to go enjoy myself and not have to think about work. I was literally grinding, 8 p.m. till 2 a.m. and then teaching athletic weight training at 7 a.m. and then coaching in the afternoon. And so eventually I went out and hired a very small core group of individuals that I was able to train my system to, and it took 3 months. And by the time I got that full training, I created a course in that same program, and I was able to cut it loose to the point that they were to pick up right where I left off, doing about $55,000 a month in revenue. And then quickly went to 100, 150, 200, 250, all because it was running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And it wasn't just being run at the wee hours of the night where I could squeeze in that little bit of time. So it's evolved. And since then we've transitioned, we've been in the Amazon space. Amazon's had their roller coaster effect with terms of service and stuff. And it's all about pivoting, in life, anything you do, if you can learn to pivot and to evolve, you're going to be really tough to beat. And it's transitioned us into the Shopify space. And really our bread and butter is helping investors, clients, individuals who want to own their own asset. We help them purchase existing brands. So whatever that brand might be, we have access to so many different brands, so many different sellers that have brands for sale. And the reason we take pride in that is because there's a proof of concept in place. You're able to find a brand that has already gone through research and development. It's already discovered product. It's already found its demographic that it sells to. It's already had ad spend pumped through it, and you're able to see a result. So it allows you to come into the space with an increased confidence because, shoot, if we just come in and we maintain this ad spend, pushing it to this demographic at this rate, we should get the same results that the previous owner's having.
Sure.
So by doing that, our client has the confidence that we just blow on it and they're going to continue to make the same returns that they purchased it under. But with our system, we're able to go in at that point and find soft spots and to increase the production from that point. And to give an example on that, I had recently purchased a brand for $100,000. This was 14 months ago, $100,000. And that brand was doing about $1,000 to $3,000 a day in revenue. It had a couple of days where it pumped up closer to 4, and 25% of that was the net. They were only marketing it in a very, very small, demographic. They were marketing it to just Australia. And this is a worldwide type brand. It could very easily be a worldwide type brand. So we ended up maximizing the current reach that they were targeting. And then we took it to the United States. We took it to Canada, to Europe. And we quickly took that to 40 to 60. And then we had even $80,000 days just by taking something that was already proven, was already successful, but literally just juicing it up. And from there, that allowed us to literally, under a year later, exit that brand for multiple millions. So we offer that same strategy, that approach to our clients. And in the event that a client may not have the capital to acquire a brand and go through our program and allow us to do the done for you system, we can start things from scratch as well. And within that approach, we have the expertise in locating product. We know how to list and market the products. We just don't know without a proven proof of concept, how high is it going to go? Is it going to be a winner? Is it going to make $5 million? Is it going to be worth $20 million? Or is it going to make you 10 grand a year? It's a positive number, and we're confident we can make a positive number. You just don't know until it's actually proven, or you have some type of data to work off of. But that's what we do.
That makes sense. So for those listening who are probably like just newbies, maybe they're really successful with, maybe they're a lawyer or a doctor, or just like someone who's like, hey, I want to start diversifying. Like I'll use myself as an example, probably a really good example. I obviously have more knowledge than the common person with like online stuff, like ecom, but pretending I'm a beginner, I have a fitness company and I say, hey, you know what? Now we want to build a couple small, maybe not small, could be huge revenue streams, but we want to diversify. We got something really good going on with our brands, but now we want to build out something for my wife or something for just our family to have additional revenue streams to fund our lifestyle, right? What do I need to know as someone coming in new to the e-commerce space? Because I think people think e-com and they're like, okay, stuff that's sold on, Amazon that I have to store at my house and like ship out and stuff.
Right.
Like widgets and stuff like that. Like what do I need to know coming in?
No, it's a great question. It's a very common question because a lot of people do think that there's a large role that they need to play. We do as the business owner, and that would be you in this case. You'd be the business owner, the investor. You have the opportunity to be as involved or as removed as you want to be, because the system is truly designed to be done for you, hands off. So you come into the system, into the program. We aren't necessarily requiring that you bring a product with you or even an idea for that matter. At the end of the day, if it's selling Barbie dolls, that's going to make me a hell of a lot more money than it is selling, something sports related. I'm going to sell the Barbie doll just because at that point it's passive and it's successful and it allows to create the goals that I'm trying to achieve. So we prefer that people come in and allow us to leverage our expertise. And if it is starting from scratch, there's a lot of a lot of great brands out there that would be considered competitors to what somebody may like to do. And we can actually scrape those brands, with the software that we have, we can scrape who they're targeting. We can scrape their specific ads and the click through or the conversion rates that they get. And we can do a lot before we even launch that increase our chances of success and our probability of success, so that we can, be successful and not sit there and just kind of throw money at ad spend and just wait till something sticks. It's going to allow us to really kind of narrow things down and funnel it in so that we increase our chances of success at a much quicker rate. So, people don't need to come in and have it all figured out. They're going to come in and bring capital. And the cool thing is, this is a really neat piece of the puzzle, is when we're leveraging ad spend, you don't need to come in and leverage cash. Leveraging a credit card with your favorite cash back or travel rewards, the card goes here as ad spend goes out, products start to sell, they come in, turns into revenue. We pay the supplier to fulfill your product and ship it out. So you're not touching inventory, you're not putting it in your garage. We network with a bunch of manufacturers, a bunch of suppliers that will do the whole 9 yards. They'll pick it, pack it, ship it for you on your behalf, and we integrate their software into your store on Shopify. And from there, you're the bank. So the money's coming to you. You're the business owner. It's coming. You're getting paid into your bank. You're making sure that as the manufacturer or supplier needs to be paid, they're paid. As the ad spend on the card needs to be paid, it gets paid. And then everything else after that is profit. And we're running the full P&L. We're doing the whole 9 yards and operating the business on your behalf as a contractor in return for a percentage of the profit.
For sure. Yeah, this is this is a big opportunity to leverage debt in a responsible way, right? So
that's exactly right.
A lot of people, and we do this with our ad spend, so I can vouch for what you're saying. All of our ad spend gets run through credit. We have a proven concept. We're obviously responsible with scaling our ad spend. We're not dumping just crazy amounts without any kind of proof of concept. And it's a slow process with us, or has been at least, where we're ramping up systematically based off of what our future outlook and projections look like. But it's all done through credit, right? We're not leveraging cash to run ads after, now that we've established a proof of concept with
exactly
works. And we've, like you said, you alluded to it, it's kind of like I always say with fitness, success leaves clues, right? We've had thousands of guys come through our program, get ripped, stay ripped, live the rest of long years, as lean, healthy individuals. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. You don't have to figure out some secret mechanism for getting lean or healthy. You just got to follow the path that's already been built by people who have come before you. Right. It's like writing a book. There's been millions and millions of books written that are bestsellers. Dude, the concept is there. You just got to create your version of it and follow the path. So this sounds very similar to that. Why don't people do this more often, though? Is it just lack of knowledge, fear? What is it?
Yeah, I think, anymore, the stuff that I'm most involved in it's non-traditional. It's non-traditional. A lot of people who have the capital, and when I say this, I just mean a larger demographic of people that have the capital were raised in kind of more of the stock market, type philosophies, where they put their money in, and if they get 8% out on the year, that's a hell of a year. They're celebrating. So it's a lot of non-traditional investing, and not that, commerce in general, but in the e-commerce space, it's establishing credibility. It's getting people to trust that your program is worth their time and their money, and is it going to convert to a successful result. And at the end of the day, it's still a business. There's still risks involved in business, just like anything. Nothing in the space can be guaranteed specifically, but we've dialed it in to the point that we've increased the probability of success astronomically. And especially when you buy something existing, we're leveraging the previous owner, and they very well could have bombed that business and we would have never found it because it went the other way. But they did several things right, got it to grow, and it didn't have to be $1 million business to be able to see that, there's still some holes in there that we can leverage our expertise to fill those holes and absolutely scale and crush that same current model with a much higher probability of success. So it's networking and people just kind of wanting to be in the space and be online and find these opportunities, because these wouldn't be the kind of opportunities that you could throw up on on TV and a news channel. Like they'd never approve ads or commercials with this type of service. So like, you've got to be, in tune with that online space, or be willing to navigate the online space to find opportunities like where you're offering.
Yeah, a lot of these brands I'm sure you find are people who are also in the business of building these small e-com, opportunities to then obviously exit in an early stage, right? They don't want to, their business is just churning out these brands that do relatively well, and then enough to say, hey, there's a proof concept here. We want to exit it and sell it for whatever. And then the person like us coming in would say, all right, now we want to scale this thing to 7, 8, 9, 10 figures or whatever before we exit. Potentially,
that's exactly it.
Or just keep it and move things around market wise. Yeah. So I'm curious, the Amazon versus Shopify thing. That's interesting. What do we need to know dealing with Amazon versus now Shopify? It sounds like.
Yeah, Amazon was literally where I got my start. It's just what we know. It's reputable. I mean, around every corner you're seeing an Amazon truck. So it's intriguing for people to think, well, shoot, if I'm going to sell, I need to sell on Amazon. And it has its its space where you can be successful. But we were finding that the business model of drop shipping, initially, the business model of drop shipping was far more valuable and safe for myself and for our clients, because shoot, we could list 1,000 products on a store, and if 95% of them didn't sell, it was all right. We had them on there and, for that one-off sale, we didn't have to hold 1,000 units of inventory, right? So we leveraged the software that's scraping what we can buy the product for. We leverage software to see what competitors are selling it for, and we find a happy medium in there where we're turning a profit. So we were able to do 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, up to $800,000 a month on these stores for our clients, and turning them a profit of 5, 10, 12, 15, 20, sometimes up to 30% a month on a store and a business model like that. Amazon came around and evolved their terms of service and got to the point where they were being used by probably a very large number of fraudulent sellers across the world who would list products and have no intention of fulfilling the product. So they would render a sale and they would just try to race to their first payout. And even if it was $500, $1,000, and then what they do is they create another LLC online, they create another virtual office, they create another with fake identity, and they'd open up another one and do the same thing again. So Amazon was getting abused. So for making it, a very awful situation for honest sellers and reputable sellers like ourselves, to the point that it became a violation to drop ship a product from one facility or a retailer, even, because it then shows up in their box and it starts to confuse the customers who bought it, thinking, I bought this from Amazon. Why did it come in a Walmart box? And what went from being a very successful model that was very, still very honest and integrity driven. You were getting the product you ordered. We were just leveraging a platform in which people felt more confident in purchasing from Amazon. So that ended up, really being run off. There's people still doing it and trying to do it, but we wouldn't touch it. We wouldn't put a client into it at this stage of the game. If you're going to sell on Amazon, you want to sell with physical inventory. You want to invest in actual inventory, put it in their warehouses, and that way they have skin in the game. They know your product is legitimate because it's sitting in multiple warehouses that they're pulling it off the shelf, they're packaging it, they're sending it out, and you're getting it in your prime shipment. So it's evolved in that sense, where we wanted to keep that high power business model where we can make absolutely incredible returns. But now the benefits you gain in the Shopify space is it's branded. You're creating a brand. Therefore, your resale value, your exitability on these brands is through the roof, because it is actually your domain. It's your product. You're not on the same search page as 1,000 other products that are either very similar, or if not, potentially the same type of product fulfilling the same type of need. Here, you get people to your page, they can't get distracted by other people's products. And you're able to, the creepy side of the e-com or just the internet space is you're able to pull their data and you're able to retarget them. And now all of a sudden you've got, hopefully you got their eyeballs on your product frequently, a couple times a week. And if they don't buy it the first time, that day that they're sitting right next to their wallet or they're really in need of that product, boom, then you're going to be able to capitalize on that day. So I just love the accessibility, the freedom behind the platform, and then the ability to leverage existing brands to increase the success for our clients, the investor, which in turn becomes a win-win. They come on, they bring the capital, they bring the brand, we bring the expertise to run it, and then we both make money off of that brand. So it's a fun space to be in, and can be incredibly, lucrative, if you get into the right, come in at the right angle.
Sure. Yeah, I can speak to the power of being a consumer and what gets marketed to me online, even just talking about things, right? Like I'll be talking about, we're planning a Disney World trip for this summer. And I've just been talking and searching Disney, Instagramming Disney stuff, clicking on things. And now all of a sudden I'm getting, hit with ads for like, VIP experiences and like, make sure you book this. And it's just like random ads, here, get your Mickey Mouse ears. And it's like, dang, they got me super dialed in, right, to all the things I'm going to need to buy.
That's exactly right. It's creepy, but
I try to be a glass. Yeah, it's a glass half full experience for me, because it's like, I'm not getting hit with things that I don't need. No, like I do need these things in some instances. Now, some of it is just total nonsense and I don't need everything, but it kind of makes my life easier in a weird way, where it's like, okay, I do want to book this dinner, or I do want to book this little experience. And also, what if I were to miss this, and this could be something that I'd really like to do with my kids or whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I know like we do get hit with a lot of unnecessary ads whenever we're searching for something, or even like, if you do buy something online, then all of a sudden all the other 20 brands that are similar will hit you with the ad. Like, dude, you just bought a t-shirt from this place. Well, here's there's 50 other shirts, right? Which I get it, but it does work, right? Which is the whole point. It does work for the advertiser.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's just a matter of where we're at in current day technology and leveraging it. Because if you don't, you're gonna, I don't want to say you'll be left behind, but you're not going to capitalize like the rest of your, competitors in that similar space. So if you're going to compete, you need to leverage technology, and that's a big piece to what we do.
So I know we're gonna switch gears just for a second, because this has been super valuable. Before we do that, you clearly offer the service for people who are interested in diversifying or getting into the e-com space. We'll talk about where to connect with you in a bit, but I know you have a lot on your plate. You deal with numerous brands, you manage a big team. Like, you have a lot of things that you do day to day, plus the family stuff, the coaching stuff. Yeah. What does your day-to-day look like? How do you stay in shape? Like, just walk people through like a day in the life of Kirk, just for people to get a clear understanding of what exactly your system looks like for health and fitness.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it varies. That's the cool thing. There's flexibility behind it. I wish that, I think this will relate to more people though. I wish it was more structured. Like, this is my window and I just followed a schedule, but it's not. There is more freedom to it. There's been a lot of times that I've been getting my workouts in the evening. I'm a night owl, and I came from that window of where I built my business literally from the ground up, from 9 p.m. till 2 a.m. So I've kind of been more of a night owl. So I've found myself the last 6 months doing probably 80% of my workouts at like 8:30, 9 p.m. And, some people are like, you're not worried about not being able to sleep after that? No, I have zero issues being able to fall asleep after working out. And it's just kind of a way to kind of cap off the day. And I leverage my mornings, kids, dropping them off at school. It's either myself or my wife that does that. And I get through and I try to set up most of my meetings or my interactions in the morning, so that, come noon and on, I could be downstairs playing golf. I have a golf simulator in my house. I could be out, running errands. I could be out, because a lot of my stuff is, I've built the system out. I've taken the time. So I don't want it to seem like, oh, there's no work ethic. I busted my ass to create the systems that I have, so that I can live more of a relaxed, time freedom based, lifestyle. And I'm really at the point now where I consider myself an investor, where I'm looking into other opportunities and what's this person have, or what's this company offering, so that I can continue to diversify my portfolio, so that I can continue to build upon my wealth, so that I have more and more confidence to be, as free and allow my company to continue to grow with, key principles that I've put into place, and those individuals that take great pride in their roles. So it is very relaxed, but it allows me to do what I want to do, and in turn makes the fitness side of it a heck of a lot easier, because I don't feel like if I missed my window, then I just skip it. No, I can get it in. I could get it in the morning, afternoon, if not in the evening is when I most ideally prefer to do it. And it allows me to stay consistent, because it's a real life scenario. I'm still a real life person with just ever evolving schedules and kids sports and all that stuff. But I enjoy it. It's been a fun process really for the last, I guess it's been over 6 months now.
What's your nutrition like now? What you got super lean, but how do you set up your day with your food?
Yeah. So I'm guilty of kind of the fasting kind of process through the morning. That's just something that, and it's not necessarily that I'm like, I need to do this. I've, read that I need to do it. I understand the concepts behind it, and it just matches with, I just don't have a huge desire to sit there and go, smash breakfast or anything. So it allows me to continue to burn through the day. And then when I get to the afternoon, I'm a big Chipotle guy. So when I go to Chipotle, I know you did a video on that, which was freaking awesome, because that is literally you would walk up to my wife right now and just be like, if Kirk could pick one thing, to eat every single day, every meal of the day, what would it be? She wouldn't even have to, no hesitation. It'd be Chipotle. And, it gets expensive, but in the sense that it's like kind of, I'm not out buying new shoes, and I'm not like a fashion guy. I'm not buying, the latest, Chipotle is probably where my guilty pleasure spends go. And that's literally, I get in there, I do like a real light rice and a little bit of black beans. So, kind of get some carbs in there, but then I've got a full thing of steak or chicken. So I try to do, double up the protein in that. And then, I'm not throwing like sour cream or anything on there. I like to just put the hot sauce on there, and maybe a little bit of cheese or some lettuce to give it some crunch. And literally I could just jive off of that. It's kind of funny, but it's at the same time, it's, I'm getting that kind of that protein intake, at the same time calories. And then I, really leverage those Fairlife, the 42 gram protein Fairlife protein shakes. So we get those from Sam's, keep those on stock. I've got them in my mini fridge in the office, mini fridge in the kitchen, and it's got them in 3 different areas of the house. So if I ever just need to grab something on the go. And then the last bit of it is just kind of, I get, the fruits and vegetables and stuff. I'll have a cutie or like an orange or something from time to time, just throughout the day, just to kind of give me a little sweet, kind of a little bit of a sweet dessert kind of zap from grapes and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's pretty simple in the sense that it's just keeping me lean. I don't know if I'm really, my DNA is designed to be, for me to be 220, 230 and absolutely, ripped. I'm in college, I was about 180, 185 pounds when I was competing. And I'm right back there now. And it's insane, because like I couldn't even have envisioned, as far as I got out of that shape, to have gotten back to that, that same type of physique, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. And it's, once you get back to it, it's not difficult to maintain it. If you've already, designed and rebuilt that emphasis. And now it's been 6 months of doing things a certain way, that even on days that you're less motivated, or you're just slammed with, work or life and just family, that it's not hard to still maintain, what it is you've worked for, unless you literally intentionally go back to increasing your calories and not watching what you eat, and you're eating more, fatty foods consistently. It's okay to mix it in from time to time, I've learned. And sometimes you need that just to kind of as a little reset, and then boom, tomorrow I'm back on my stuff. It's a kind of a reward. and it's worked out. You know, I'm really pleased with the way it's just worked out and the way I've adapted to it.
Yeah, dude, you nailed it, man. Like I see a lot of guys like you and me who we run at a good pace for good chunks of the day, right? It's not like all day grind, boiler room type of lifestyle. We probably had, periods of our life like that. Yeah. But for us, busy dads who are successful, there's always like this mindset I see with the common guy who has the financial success and maybe even like family success, where it's like, well, I have to cut out the fitness stuff. Like that's just not something I can do right now. Maybe once the kids are off in college, I'll get ripped, or once business slows down and I could just have passive income, then I'll get ripped. It's like, dude, you can totally do it all, right? You can totally have it all. It's just the simple systems. Like you said, the fasting, I tell you guys all the time, it's just a tool, right? It's just like, it's one less thing you got to worry about. Like, I don't have to eat. Cool. All right. I don't have to spend, 30 minutes on breakfast. Great. Just get right to it. Energy's high. And then it's like on the go, like, well, can you eat Chipotle and get ripped? Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, yes, you just have to have your go-to meals, right?
Exactly.
The protein shakes, they don't taste like crap. They taste awesome and they're easy. And you just store them in your office. It's like, boom, drink a shake, get on with my day. It's like, just got to have the systems in place. And then all of a sudden you're like, damn, my body looks amazing. Not because fasting burned fat or this protein shake built some crazy muscle. It's just because like your system is so easy to follow.
Yeah. No, and I found that, part of the program, like the 3 M's, breaking it down in simplicity, because that's kind of how I teach. When I came from like kind of the school setting is you try to make it very simple so that you're not overloaded. Like, what am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? But if, you're getting your movement, the 10,000 steps a day, it's very easy to not do it, but it's also very easy to do it if you just make it part of your system. Like, get up and just move around, walk around the house, go, walk to the mailbox, and just putting that in. And then I've got my treadmill now in my bedroom, and literally I'll sit there at night and just get on and just turn it into more of than just kind of just walking for leisure. I'll crank it up a little bit and try to churn out some like 13-minute miles while I'm still walking, so that I'm burning those calories, but I'm getting steps and turning it into more of a cardio phase as well too. And it works for me. And that's what's cool. And then getting your muscles, so the workout side of it, and then meals. Like, you break it into 3 things and you just focus on those 3 categories, and then just know a very short bullet point list below. It's so easy to obtain that you'll kind of laugh when you finally figure it out, because you're going to look back and be like, I made this so difficult for so many years, and just thought like I needed this full elaborate system that I needed to carry around a pamphlet. No, once you figure it out and you just know what you can and can't eat on 90% of the time, and then like, hey, the workouts aren't designed to be rocket science or take up your entire day. Get in there, burn the calories, get through the movements, build muscle, stimulate the muscle growth, feed it with the protein, higher protein intake. And I don't want to say it's magic, but it's going to feel like it's magic, because your body's going to evolve. It's going to change. Then that's where it gets addicting, is because you see the success so quickly. And if it's in a situation where you're trying to lose fat and lose weight initially, that's what you're going to be motivated by first, is you're going to see the pounds drop off. And then from there, it just becomes even more motivating, and you become more hungry to now stack the muscle into it, so that you're compounding your results.
I love it, man.
It's been great. Yeah.
Dude, so I know your time is valuable. Where can people connect with you on the e-com stuff? Because I know we're gonna have a lot of excited people to, reach out to you and get more information. What's the best way to connect with you?
Yeah. So honestly, right now, hopping on Facebook, add me on Facebook. I've got a small team who they go through my Facebook page and respond to people. If it's not me, I'm one of 2 other people that, could be getting back to you directly. If you have questions, shoot us a message. We just threw up a new site that will have a questionnaire page that will get sent to us as well too. That's officialkirkcooper.com, KIRKCOOPER. And yeah, we'd love to connect. And that's the cool thing, is it doesn't stop at e-com. E-com has just been what gave me my start, and is really kind of where I've developed my success. But from there, I've been able to branch it into so many different avenues, so many different streams of income, that it's it's an absolute pleasure to be able to help people create additional streams of income. E-com might not be the thing. The price point might not be the thing, but if we have the opportunity to connect, there's other things out there that I'd be, happy to help people with and get them involved in and help them, change their lives financially.
Amazing, brother. Appreciate you taking the time to come on the show, man. You've obviously killed it in my program. You're killing it in life too. So it's nice to add you to our network of people that others need to connect with. So that's awesome, brother. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you too, bud. Thank you for having me.
You got it. Thanks so much for listening to today's episode with my friend Kirk Cooper. Be sure to connect with him on Facebook. That's where he's most active these days. And if you're looking for a perfect place to start getting in shape this year, if you're feeling stuck, there's a ton of information out there and you're just not sure where the best place is to start, I have a perfect opportunity for you. It is our 3M Fat Loss Action Plan. And all you have to do is go to 3mactionplan.com and you can get it right now. We have copies for you ready to rock and roll. So if you are a busy, driven, ambitious guy, or even an amazing female out there who's got a lot on their plate, but just knows it's time to get in shape, got to get your life together, got to do it. 3mactionplan.com. That's the place to start. So without further ado, I'll let you get after it. Thanks so much for listening, and I will talk to you on the next one. Life moves fast. Make it count. See you soon. Peace.